Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I discuss all of Meghan Markle's debacles, including, of course, probably one of her biggest ever, this cooking show, this With Love Meghan garbage. Now, this is season 2, if that is what we're calling this thing, and it has just dropped. And let me tell you, I've watched one episode and it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. It is worse so far than season 1, I have to say. It is very slow moving. Now, season 1 was also slow moving, but I feel like they have to add the music in the background just to make it somewhat watchable. Now, this is the review for episode 2 because I had to jump right in and do this because have a look who is in episode 2. OMG. It is the one and only Chrissy Teigen, one of the biggest cyber bullies out there. Now, between Meghan Markle and Chrissy Teigen, sometimes it's hard to know who is the worst. It really, really is. But let me give you a quick heads up because I thought, well, I didn't really think that Chrissy was any of these things, but she certainly portrays herself on Instagram to be good at cooking. She certainly claims to have a passion for it. She has a food business. I also thought she loved to do craft, particularly resin jewelry, she has mentioned before. And I also thought she was into family, according to her Instagram, like I said. And after watching this episode, I have to say, none of that is true. She is awful with all of those things. And I'm going to talk you through this. Honestly, she has come off much worse than Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is obviously awful, but we know that already. We're going to see that in 8 episodes. But Chrissy Teigen had one shot at this and, to be honest, completely blew it. Now, this episode starts off, like I said, it's very slow. It starts off with Meghan Markle making a sourdough starter. Okay, now that's not riveting at all. And she talks us through how to do it and basically goes through 5 days of her checking on it every morning or whatever and pouring more water. And who actually cares? It's so bad. It's so boring. Now, of course, she's wearing all kinds of outfits as she's doing this terrible, terrible outfits, all oversized, collars up to her forehead, just terrible. And of course, all the jewelry is on every single time. Then she realizes, oh, Chrissy Teigen is coming over. I'm going to make her a Thai iced tea. She's going to love it. And that's it there in the front, that orange thing with the humongous oversized straw. Everything has to be oversized. Now, she makes a claim, and I've never heard this before. This is a typical Meghan Markle, lie just to suit whatever environment she's in. She says she always went to Thai Town in LA as a child and she would always get an iced tea. I've never heard that ever before, Meghan. This is new information to me. It seems like whichever guest she's on, she always just goes to their neck of the woods, whatever culture is associated with them. Suddenly she's an expert. I mean, it just sounds like 43% Nigerian all over again. Now, she then, after making the tea, she then makes the sourdough toast. Now, I'm not joking. She did this before. She puts ricotta on there. She puts lemon. This sounds like 2015, if you ask me. So in 10 years, Meghan has absolutely gone nowhere. She's still making this ridiculous thing. Now, this is just toast. She's just making toast. She's over 40 and she's making toast. What is going on? Does she have any clue? Now enter Chrissy Teigen. Now Chrissy Teigen comes in and for some unknown reason brings John with her. Like, I don't know if he is some kind of support for her or I don't know, Meghan really wanted the big name and she had to have John make an appearance. He looks like he doesn't want to be there. He has one sip of this Thai iced tea and he doesn't like it. He's not into it. And then he's like, exit stage left. He's gone. Now, they make it look like he's actually left. He's like gone home, but he hasn't. He's just sitting behind the camera somewhere because they talk to him later on. But anyway, that was really pointless, to be honest, to bring John on. I mean, gosh, these two. I mean, we don't need to see him as well. He's so wooden. I don't know what is going on with John. His face is all. Anyway, let's not even get into that. Now, Meghan Markle tries to explain to Chrissy, who has zero clue on how to measure anything. She explains to her that you don't need much of the starter to go into the bread. And she says it in such a dramatic way when Chrissy asks her. And she says, oh, it's just the tiniest bit. It's the tiniest bit. Like it's the hardest thing in the world to do. She's so over the top. It's so, so bad. She then talks about making sourdough crackers. So now you've got two bullies in the kitchen making sourdough crackers. Like it's boring AF. So you see them with rolling pins, you see them, I don't know, talking about garbage. Like it's just so ridiculous. All I could see as they were rolling this dough was all of their jewelry on their hands. They've both got huge rings on their fingers. Like it's so unrelatable. It's just too much. Now, a huge revelation comes up in their conversation, though, I have to say, because Meghan Markle wants to make some resin jewelry for their kids, and she's going to use their birth flowers in the resin. So she's asking Chrissy what her kids' birthdays are. Do you think Chrissy Teigen knows her kids' birthdays? You would think so, wouldn't you? That would be pretty important as a parent. Clearly, Chrissy doesn't care about her kids, even to the point, let me explain this to you. She has no clue what her first child's birthday is. So she refers to her tattoo on her arm because she admits she had to get she had to get their birth dates tattooed on her arm so she could remember. But it gets worse because they're obviously old tattoos and they've all bled out and they're blurred and she still can't read it. So she says, John, when's Miles' birthday? Is that a 16 or an 18? I'm not even joking. She didn't know her child's birth date and it's tattooed on her. I mean, it doesn't get dumber than this. This is what I'm saying. She has come off much, much worse than Meghan Markle has. I mean, at least Meghan knows her kids, and I don't know. Wouldn't anyone know their kids' birthdays? This is insanity. I just found that so, so bad. That's not even cringe. I don't know the word for that. Anyway, let's just move on. Of course, these two start talking about the way that they met or the old memories, and that, of course, is deal or no deal. Now, Meghan has said in the past how she doesn't really reflect well on this moment, and I think she regrets it. But in this episode, no, doesn't regret it at all. She was just happy to have healthcare and to have a job. So, I mean, different kind of story that we got from this episode for sure. Suddenly Chrissy turns up and it's all roses. She loves it. Now, they basically go off and make some resin jewelry. It looks a bit like this. It's this kind of stuff. Chrissy is useless at it. She finally gets the hang of it. And honestly, I've heard her say she makes resin jewelry before. Clearly she hasn't. Clearly that is a lie. So I don't know. They make some resin jewelry. Meghan ends up putting it on her dog as a collar. Like, I'm not sure that's really a good idea for a dog. It looks a bit sharp. It's probably going to crack. Like, it doesn't look safe for a dog. Anyway, just remember that Guy did pass away. So we're not sure exactly how, but maybe that's one of the reasons. Now, Meghan also makes some rose water for Chrissy. Like, wow. Like rose water, if you didn't know, is dried roses and water. Yeah, that's how you make rose water. Okay. Now, one really ridiculous thing that Meghan does say is instead of saying hawthorn, because that's one of the flowers for the kids' birthdays, she calls it what does she call it? Like Ponsworth or something ridiculous. Like her brain just goes to mush. I don't know. She calls it Ponsworth. Chrissy, being the dumbass that she is, starts laughing and thinks she's talking about a kid's name. But Meghan, interestingly, makes a comment and says, well, if I could have hidden a secret like that, that would be impressive. If she could hide a secret child like that, which is pretty interesting because we're all hearing now that she may actually have a secret child. So there you go. Maybe she's hinting that she does have a secret child. I don't think its name is Ponsworth, though. But I mean, these two are so ridiculous together. Honestly, I've got a bit of a headache, to be really, really honest with you. But yes, that is episode 2. I don't recommend watching it, of course. Out of 5, if I had to say how bad it was, I would give it 4 wriggly worms. I'm going to do the wriggly worm emoji because that makes a whole lot of sense right now. I didn't see any worms in the food, but to be honest, I didn't really make a lot of food. This was more of a crafty episode and just showing us how ridiculous Chrissy is and how she doesn't know anything about her kids, which I think is actually an insult. So, guys, I will keep going through this series. Please stick around. I hope you're enjoying these, and I will keep these videos coming. Thank you. Bye.